Welcome to the video. I am BlackwellTV. This is the 7th, 8th, 9th patch from Fallout 76. We're just going to go through the patch notes and see what's what regarding the update that happened on the 7th of May 2019. Wild Appalachia, patch 9 notes. We're going to go through the notes. If there's anything that stands out that we need to talk about a little bit more, then we'll do that. But other than that, let's get straight into it. So patch 9 arrives today, bringing a host of new Wild Appalachia content to 76, including new features, quests, challenges, balance adjustments, and a ton of bug fixes. Read on to catch the full patch notes for today's updates. Now, as always, there's patch highlights, patch version, new Wild Appalachia content. So new content, camp crafting and workshop, content, design and balance, quests and events, survival beta, world, bug fixes, a whole bunch of those. And that should be everything to round us out. Okay, so patch highlights. Ever upwards. Join the Pioneer Scouts to complete new quest challenges and events and receive your first backpack. Backpacks, cool. Backpacks. Equip a backpack to increase your carry weight, then apply mods to customize its appearance and its utility option. Personal vending machines. Sell your wares to a fellow dweller by building a vending machine, advertise your location on the map, and then by powering it up. Legendary exchange machines. Head to train stations to turn your unwanted legendaries into Scrip, which can be traded to the purveyor once the purveyor is available on, I believe, the 16th of May. There you go. Yeah, a new vendor who will arrive in Appalachia on 16th of May. Camp and workshop changes. We've implemented new workshop PvP rules, player damage protections for camp in adventure mode, and loosened restrictions on building camp foundation. So all in all, sounds pretty good from the patch highlights. I know a lot of this video is going to be quite dry, so, you know, skim over it if you wish. But we are going through it in detail, so here we go. Download sizes are approximately 8 gig for console and 3.5 gig for PC. So these are the numbers you need to see if you are loading up the Bethesda launcher and you want to see what update you're on. Okay, so new Wild Appalachia content. Join the Pioneer Scouts. Read Pioneer Scouts posters at train stations around Appalachia to begin your journey. You can also unlock the posters from the store till the 9th of June. As a tadpole, you can take part in a variety of activities and mini-quests to show off your pioneering spirit. Complete new Pioneer Scouts challenges to earn badges that will help you rank up and can be turned into claim-themed loot. Join the new Terrors of the Dark event to listen to spooky stories around the campfire with your fellow Pioneer Scouts. Read an article on that on Fallout.com to find more about the Pioneer Scout. Backpacks. Backpacks are a new functional item that can you can equip to increase your carry weight. You can receive your first backpack by being promoted to the rank of Possum through the Pioneer Scout. Craft higher level backpacks to receive larger carry weight bonuses. That's interesting. Backpacks can be modded to change their appearance to match your personal tastes. You can also add functional mods to give your backpack more utility, like increased damage reduction or food refrigeration, often in exchange for reduced storage capacity. Backpacks will remain visible over outfits and armor, but will be unequipped when you step into a set of power armor. Okay, so they don't work in power armor. There was speculation that it was going to be in power armor or not. So they're unequipped when you step into power armor. So not just invisible, actually unequipped. Outfits that already have a cosmetic backpack built in will not display your functional backpack. However, you will still receive the benefits of that backpack. Our previous article on backpacks stated they would remain functional while wearing power armor. This was incorrect and we apologise for the miscommunication. Okay, there we go. There we go. Fine. So there's more information on Fallout.com about backpacks. Personal vending machines. We've been using these and they have been great fun. We've picked up some real good weapons off them. And we've sold a few things, but we haven't put anything in there that's really sort of worthwhile yet. I know we bought a bunch of serums for about 450 caps each. I say about that. I bought a hell of a lot for 450 caps each. I know exactly how much it costs, so no point me saying about. So yeah, I've got all the serums now, at least once, which is decent, just for reserve. Or for sharing on the community, whatever. You can build up to 4 vending machines in your camp using the Vendors tab in the Build menu. Power it to advertise your camp to other players on the map. Players can also fast travel to camps that offer vending and appear on the map. That's cool. Loads of fast travel points now, and it's just good fun. Up to 30 individual or stack of items can be assigned to the vending machine at any given time. So you can put 30 different items in there, or you could put one item in there 30 times, and that will take up 1 unit. So each independent item will take up 1 slot out of 30 per vending machine. You can have a total of 120. So if you put 1 bullet in there, that'll take up a slot. If you put 1,000 of that bullet in there, that'll still only take up 1 slot. Okay, so that's pretty much how it works. Assign items to your inventory or stash to your vending machine and set the cap prices that you would like to sell them for. Items you've assigned to vending will not be removed from your stash. Instead, they will display an icon next to their names, so it's easy to tell what you've put in the vendor at a glance. You'll receive a notification whenever a player buys from your vending machines. 90% of the sale price will go to your balance. 10% fee will be going to the Bethesda. Well, they'll essentially be taken out of the game to help with the health of the game's economy and mitigate inflation. Players can still be players. Why am I saying players? Items can still be sold after you've reached the current maximum cap balance of 25,000, but you will not receive any caps beyond that limit. So the last 2 points are interesting ones. So the 10% fee that's taken off anything you sell essentially stops people buying things low and then flipping them and selling them back, supposedly. As I say, I bought some serums for 450. If I then went on to buy them for 500 or sell them for 500, that 10% off would basically negate any kind of profit I'm looking to make on them. So yeah, it works that way. Items can be sold, but yeah. So there's a 25,000 cap limit on the game. It's always been in there. Anything that you sell beyond that will be gone. You'll still make that sale, but you won't earn the caps. So be careful how much you're putting into your vending machines. Alternatively, you can use the map to seek out the traders who have set up shop when you're looking to purchase new gear for your collection. That's pretty much straightforward. Legendary exchange machines. Legendary exchange machines have been added at train stations around Appalachia. Sometimes they take a moment to load in after you've loaded in yourself, so just be aware of that. You can use them to turn your unwanted legendary items into a new currency called legendary Scrip. Scrip can be used to buy legendary items from the Purveyor, which is a new legendary vendor dropping on the 16th of May. Prepare for her arrival by exchanging your items for Scrip. The higher the star rating of your legendary items, the more Scrip you will receive from an exchange machine. Legendary Scrip cannot be traded, it cannot be shared across your characters either. We don't really know much more than that. We know that there's 150 Scrip available per day. It resets every day. There's speculation on Reddit about there being a 1,000 Scrip limit per character. We're not sure. Oh, I'm not sure about that. To be totally honest, I wouldn't know about that because we haven't experienced it. It's been available for 2 days. This is the 3rd day, so if you've maxed out a character's Scrip over the last 3 days, you'll have 450 Scrip. So, yeah, it's interesting to find that people have been talking about 1,000 Scrip limit, but we'll see. If there is 1,000 Scrip limit, the items that the Purveyor sells will also have 1,000 Scrip limit. So that's interesting. C.A.M.P crafting and workshop. C.A.M.P damage protections. C.A.M.P objects and structures no longer take damage from other players as long as the defending player and their C.A.M.P defenses are not hostile against their attackers. That's good. That means passive mode is real. Foundations. The requirement that all foundation pieces in a block of foundations need to be built on the terrain has now been removed. Now only the first foundation will need to be built on the terrain, and subsequent foundations snapped to that original piece will then ignore this rule. This change only applies to camps and does not affect workshop. Okay, should be easier to place camp now. Personal terminal has been added. Players can now build and power a personal terminal in their camps, which can give information about new discoveries in Appalachia and provides a reminder about visiting some of your daily friends. Essentially, it's a little poke on the shoulder saying, hey, you've not done your daily thing here. You know, problem is, people aren't going to check their camps to see what their personal dailies are. You need a little HUD that has that, really, to be honest. You can claim a free personal terminal for your humble abode by visiting the Atomic shop. Personal terminal can be found in the miscellaneous structures tab in the build menu. Punch bowls can no longer be activated and beverages can no longer be placed within. who's been spiking the punch, says the dev. We've had to disable the functionality of punch balls for the time being, but you can still build and place them in your camp. Well, that sucks. They don't say why. Okay. The White Spring. Camps can no longer be built or placed near the golf club because there's a lot of requests from the community to remove the ability to build camps near the golf club as they tend to trivialize enemies in the area. We agree with this feedback and we've decided to place a no build zone in this location. Workshop PvP. The following adjustments have been made to the rules of Workshop PvP. Workshop owners must now enter the bounds of the workshop before they are placed in PvP with the contesting players. Workshop turrets no longer attack a wanted player unless that player is contesting the owner's workshop. That's cool. And players that are not actively contesting an owned workshop cannot damage the objects built there. Just sort of stopping exploits there, really, isn't it? Design and balance. Ammo. Flame of fuel created via crafting has been increased from 5 to 20. And cryo cells created via crafting has been increased from 15 to 25. Fast travel. A 15-second timer will now appear when attempting to fast travel while enemies are nearby. The player will now automatically fast travel to the selected location when the timer expires, as long as they are not hit by an enemy during that countdown. Nice. Hunting rifle. Increase the damage bonuses provided by the Prime and 50 cal receiver mods. These mods now respectively grant the highest and second highest damage values of any hunting rifle receiver mod. I've checked one of these out actually. I was handed a bloodied hunting rifle by my good friend Shen 8, and we've put a 50 cal receiver on it, and the damage went from 70. This is a level 50 rifle with no perks, no adrenal reaction, nothing like that. It went from 70 base rate up to 94. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's really good, and it's bloodied. So yeah, that was at full health as well. So that's an indication of how they are being sort of buffed. Plasma guns, damage increased by 30%. That's a third. Wow. Enclave plasma guns, damage increased by 10% to 30%. These plasma gun changes do not apply to the Gatling plasma. The damage increase is intended to address drawbacks to plasma weapons that split damage evenly between ballistic and energy damage types. The Gatling plasma only deals in energy and is already one of the highest DPS heavy auto weapons. Legendary armor effects. Sentinel, Cavalier, and Assassin legendary effects now only have a 75% chance to apply during combat. A lot of people have been talking about the Ascent Cav gear, and it's about time they brought in line. So, you know, if you've got a full set, then it'll still be pretty hefty, but not 100% guarantee anymore. Also fixed an issue that could cause these legendary effects to double when using certain equipment combinations. Dev note, prior to this rebalance and bug fix, combinations of these legendary armors could make players effectively invulnerable from damage, particularly in combat with other players. Not anymore. Which is good. Of course it's good. Loot. The legendary drop rate for the Gatling gun and cryolator has been adjusted to better match all other weapons. Several new wake-up locations have been added to Nukishine. Easiest way to fast travel away from enemies in PvP. Pop a Nukishine. Radstorms now occur a little more frequently than before in the Ash Heap, Cranberry Bog, the Mire, and the Savage Divide. We've read your feedback that Radstorms were too rare, especially when it comes to completing Radstorm-based challenges. They will occur a bit more than they did prior to this change, but they will be still somewhat rare. Additionally, as of patch 8.5, nuke zones count towards Radstorm challenge progress. Cool. Okay, moving on to quests and events. Bureau of Tourism. This has been promoted to a full main quest. When players are pointed to begin Bureau of Tourism, it will now display a full quest banner on screen. For new players, exploring the Toxic Valley is an important step in progressing through the game. We wanted to make sure that players have clear pointers to this level appropriate content. Miscellaneous. It is now possible for high-level unruly golfer feral ghouls to spawn at the White Spring. This should help higher-level players more easily complete the kill unruly golfers at the White Spring objective. Yeah, I've seen some level 62s recently, so that's pretty cool. It's not just the big charred ghouls now at White Springs. You'll see feral ghoulers. Or feral ghoulers, yeah. Feral ghouls, golfers, you know, that kind of thing. So it adds more variety in the aesthetics, as well as gives obviously people more chance to complete that objective. Survival beta. We're still in beta with the survival. I've put a lot of hours into it. it's frustrating me, to be honest. So I jumped out of it about maybe 10 days ago. I'm probably not going to jump back into it until it's out of beta. So that just sort of goes to show like how the Sentinel Assassin Cavalier gear in beta, in survival, it causes a lot of hefty grief, and it's not necessary and stuff. And there's a lot of mechanics still need to be tweaked with that. But obviously, I understand the importance of continuing to use the beta to help them get the best out of the game. But I can't. As a streamer, I can't. I just can't. Death mechanics. Cap losses on death in the survival beta are now based on the player's current level and will not exceed 50 caps. See, so obviously they used to exceed 50 caps. It used to be double your level, whatever it was. It was just too much on the inventory. It really was. Scoreboards added a new survival score category that will be used as the primary stat for ranking player performances in survival beta worlds. Players receive 1 survival point for every XP earned while playing in survival. The total number of survival points you currently have will determine your placement on the scoreboards. The 3 players with the highest survival scores will be highlighted on the map. On death, your survival score is reset to 0. When you kill another player, 75% of the survival points they had prior to death will be added to your survival score. So, if your score is 500 and you kill a player who scores 1,000, they will lose all their points and you'll receive 750 for a new score of 1250. Okay. For this week only, before the bug fix comes in, there's a hot fix. I believe it's today. So you've probably missed it, but the survival challenge was available to be completed in adventure mode, and you get a Gatling gun. So rush out and do that if you've seen this video before the game's gone offline. World. Morgantown Airport. An interior of Morgantown Airport has been significantly reworked with new environment art and lighting, updated combat encounters suitable to the area, and features several new lore-related items like note. I saw that on Twitter, but I didn't know anything about it, so now we know. Okay, big one here. Here it comes. Bug fixes. This is where it all gets a little bit intricate with all the details, and they may not apply to you, and you may want to skip this over. So, do as you wish. Skim through it. Completely up to you, whatever. If you are done here, then thank you for your time. Appreciate you checking the stream, checking the YouTube video. Dropping that like if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content and whatnot. And I'll catch you in Appalachia. But yeah, okay. Oh yeah, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm a sort of self-confessed expert on this game. I don't know everything, but I know a lot. And we can get to the bottom of things if you have any questions. So by all means, drop a comment and question. Okay, bug fixes. Gonna get dry, guys. Art and graphics. Characters. Female dweller shoulders no longer clip through the vintage linen coat. Bib's treads no longer appear to jitter when he stops near the entrance of the Nuka Shine's basement. The Sheepsquatch now has a proper animation for crawling and standing up after its legs have been crippled. Milex are no longer missing gore when dismembered. Nice. Milex are more gory. Excellent. Fixed a visual issue that could cause feral ghouls to spawn wearing too many clothing items. Too many? I thought it was too little, to be totally honest. Too many naked boys running about. Scout's Life 10 now displays the correct cover art. I tell you what, some of them books, Tales of the Virginia, whatever they are, Tales of the Appalachia books, whatever, they look really cool, the artwork on them. Be sure to check them out. Reworked a Nuka Girl rocket suit model that appears while inspecting the body piece and helmet. Jetpack visual effects no longer persist upon landing after firing a weapon using a jetpack. Duplicate decals have been removed from camo power armor paints. Crossbow bolts have been made easier to see. Fixed several issues affecting how weapon lights appear to players. Plasma gun projectile visual effects now correctly appear to start from the barrel of the weapon when viewed by another player. Can't talk. Blah. Plasma Gatling and plasma gun projectile visual effects have been restored. And rain no longer falls through camping canopies. Craft, camping, and workshops. Blueprints. Fixed a rare issue that could cause game controls to lock up when attempting to create a blueprint. Fixed an issue that could prevent blueprints with vases on shelves from being placed. Fix multiple issues that could prevent blueprint placement if the blueprinted object, such as a tent, contains another object. The player's camp will now correctly be automatically blueprinted if the client crashed while building. A blueprint that includes a tent will no longer appear placeable if the selected location is invalid. Fix an issue that prevented blueprints from being placed if the player's stored items have reached the maximum object count. Improve the way terrain and supporting objects are detected, which allows for more natural object placement. Fix an issue that could result in loss of stored items under specific conditions. Players can now correctly activate the build menu by selecting a teammate's camp, even if that teammate is far from the area. Fermenter. Items assigned to the fermenter from the stash are now preserved if the player's camp cannot be placed upon joining another well. All items assigned to the fermenter that have condition now correctly display their condition. The bottom of the Mothman statue no longer disappears when it is placed or while previewing it in the build menu. Implemented an improvement affecting how objects, wall decor items are attached to walls or other objects. Okay. So wall decor objects have now been improved to fit better on the walls. Wall decor can now be properly placed around hanging chandeliers. Editing or removing a wire or placing a blueprint containing a wire no longer prevents players from continuing to build. That's caused an issue anyway. Like, a lot of people are struggling with the wires now. When you try to wire one item to another, instead of being able to use the wire, actually place the wire, you're jumping. The character's jumping instead. That's causing quite a lot of concern. I've seen at least 2 cases of that, and it's infuriating. So that's a bit of an issue. So look out for that. If you've got a fix for it, drop it in the comments. That'd be awesome. Challenges. General. Corrected typos in a number of challenges. Cool. The Destroy Robots While Unarmed challenge now correctly specifies that the player must use gauntlets or martial gloves rather than bare fists. So it's not unarmed. It's unarmed weapons, which by default is an oxymoron. Holiday. All Halloween costumes now correctly count towards Holiday Costume Challenge progress. Hunter/Hunted. Oh, I've just got an email from Bethesda. Let's get rid of that. Hunter/Hunted. Corrected weekly and daily Hunter/Hunted challenges to specify that the player must win rather than complete the game mode. The Silver Shroud costume option in Hunter/Hunted challenges no longer displays description text for the Manta Man costume. Corrected the win Hunter/Hunted while wearing a fuzzy mask weekly challenge to state mask instead of hat. Fix an issue where sometimes picking flowers, killing huge creatures, and killing Mothman as part of a weekly challenge would not count as expected. Corrected a weekly challenge timer that would have outlasted the inevitable heat death of our universe. Yeah, last week's challenges was like 4 billion days. That's hilarious. Corrected, I'm reading it again. Corrected a weekly challenge timer that would have outlasted the inevitable heat death of our universe. Whoever worded that, absolutely brilliant. Not just our untimely demise as humans, but the universe. The Flatwoods monster once again correctly counts as an alien for the Take Pictures of Cryptids weekly challenge. Exploits on enemies. Addressed an exploit that could allow players to leave the game's playable area near Sugar Grove. Addressed an exploit that would allow a vertibird to be farmed for XP. General. Death Claws, Mirelurks, Mirelurk variants, and Rad Scorpions are no longer considered animal. These creatures were incorrectly added to the animals category and already belonged to another creature categories, like insects or reptiles. This change should prevent inconsistencies and double dipping that could occur with perk effects that target certain types of creatures. Imposter Sheepsquatch. If the imposter Sheepsquatch is visible when it is killed, its corpse will no longer become invisible. Good. More visibility on death. We can find out where the legendary is. Legendary robots now consistently detonate 10 seconds after being destroyed, rather than exploding immediately. Scorchbeast Queen. can no longer be turned into an ash pile or a goo pile. This should help limit cases where players are unable to loot the Queen's corpse in certain situations. Items. Addressed an exploit that could allow players to gain the benefits of an aid item without consuming it. Well, it's an exploit after all, isn't it? Not intended. Fixed an issue that could allow players to skip reload animations for certain weapons. Explosive shotguns. Fixed an issue causing shotguns with the explosive legendary effect to deal double damage rather than an additional 20%. Gatling gun that has the sight ring mod now fire more accurately down the sight. So that's a Gatling gun. I believe the weekly challenge this week for the survival gun is a Resolute Veteran. And that is a Gatling gun. 3-star. Gatling laser. Fixed an issue that caused the Gatling laser to fire only one... Wait, what? Fixed an issue that caused... Whoa, this sentence is not a good sentence to read. Fixed an issue that caused the Gatling laser to only fire one round when holding the fire button after reloading a fusion core. So the Gatling laser is a continuous fire weapon. All right, it fires a beam, and that obviously determines how much of the fusion core gets used. I guess what they're saying is once you've reloaded, there was an issue where you'd hit fire, and instead of it being constant, it'd just go beep, and obviously that's been corrected. Grugnak's axe can now correctly be repaired beyond 100% condition using the Weapon Artisan perk. Still no mods for that. Maybe down the line. Legendary items. All legendary effects, rather than just the first, are now correctly listed in the notification that appears when receiving a legendary item. I'd like to go on to mention that notification that pops up with the spinning gun, and it says what gun you've got, and it's got 3-star, 1-star, 2-star, whatever, and it's got all the legendary effects on it. That, on the screen, takes up far too much space. If they made that a lot smaller, maybe 25% of the original size, and moved it over to the corner, where maybe encrypted notification comes up, or the Scorched Beast Queen, Scorched Earth notification. Maybe if it came up there instead, sort of up here in the corner out of the way, it would be a lot easier, because that way, if you pick up a legendary and you're still being fired at, you can still aim, you can still return fire. So I hope that'd be something that Bethesda would be looking at, but you know, I can only mention it on my channels. So here we are. Hopefully they'll pick it up. Who knows? Where are we? Here. Yeah. Legendary stars are now correctly displayed in the item's name on the inspect and modify screens, as well as the notification that appears when receiving a legendary item. So yeah, just to reiterate, make it smaller, put it in the corner, that notification, that gun of what you just received. Doesn't need to be so big on the screen. It's taking up too much of my real estate on my screen. Lever action rifle. The wooden inlay lever action rifle paint can now be applied to the Soul Survivor and will remain applied between sessions. Fixed an issue that could prevent a player from receiving a legendary item after killing a legendary creature on busy servers. I'm still confident that exists. That is still a problem. I've killed a legendary yesterday and I got a drill. So it may be an issue that's fixed, but it's not all of the issues that are fixed. Minigun. Crafting chrome minigun paint now correctly consumes the required materials. Added on the 7th of May, so in the patch. The sacrificial blade mod from the machete no longer incorrectly counts as legendary. It can still be crafted and its effects have not changed, but it will no longer add a star to the weapon's description. We actually tried that one out because that was a way of getting a 4-star weapon out of a 3-star. By adding the sacrificial blade, you'd add essentially another star. When it comes to legendary Scrip, it doesn't apply, so it stays as a 3-star. It no longer makes it a 4-star. So yeah, don't go buying that mod if you think, oh, I can get a 4-star out of it. I've already tried it, it doesn't work. And it says right there, it doesn't work. Okay, fixed an issue that prevented the electrified mod from dealing its bonus damage to the sheep squad. Nuke code pieces. Remove the second item preview that appeared upon picking up a nuke code. Paper bags. Fixed an issue that could occur when dropping items on the ground inside Vault 76. Power armor. The targeting HUD helmet mod's detect life effect is no longer applied to other nearby players. Power armor. Bone Raider excavator paint can no longer be applied to left arm of the XO1 power armor. Obviously a bug, so it's been fixed. Fusion cores no longer continue to drain when the player is dead. The camera, using the photo mode pose or an emote while using a photo mode pose or an emote while the ProSnap Deluxe is equipped no longer results in sudden teleportation. I didn't know that the photo mode pose did it, but the emotes did. That was good fun. The mods are no longer removed from the player's camera if they have not yet completed the bucket list. Old target data no longer persists on screen when attempting to take a photo of something new. Cool. With anything that's new in the game, you're going to expect bugs. You know, they're not really going to be able to try and test it until it's available in everybody's hands. So, you know, they'll still be... Anything new that comes in the game, expect some kind of bugs with it until it's ironed out. Stealth Boy Mark III can now be correctly used from the Pip-Boy inventory. Okay, performance and stability. Loading, stability, and stability. Address an issue that could cause players to encounter an infinite loading screen while fast traveling to top of the world. Address an issue that could cause the client to crash while in the White Spring bunker. Fix the crash that sometimes occurred while loading new areas. Alright. Perks. Adrenaline. Fixed a visual issue that could cause weapon damage to update incorrectly in the Pip-Boy. I guess that's adrenal reaction. I'm guessing. No, it might be that... Oh, it's a perk card and adrenaline. Okay. Cool. So adrenaline essentially makes your damage output bigger every time you kill someone. So that's fixed a visual issue that could cause weapon damage to update incorrectly in the Pip-Boy. So I guess the damage output was the wrong figure, I guess. Animal Friend. Deathclaws, Megasloths, Mirelurks, and Scorch Beasts can no longer be pacified by Animal Friend because they're no longer considered animals. Animal Friend. Mutant Hounds can now be pacified by Animal Friend. Class Freak now correctly suppresses the grounded mutation's negative effects. Cool. Marathoner. Updated the description text to indicate that Marathoner has no effect while wearing power armor. Stranger Numbers now behaves more consistently when players and their mutated teammates are far away from each other. I don't really know what that means. If there's more information on that, I'd love to hear it. Does that mean it works less because they're further away? Is it a proximity effect? Or does it mean that it just works regardless of whether they're far away or not? Not sure. It just says more consistently. Weight reduction perks. Item weight displays now refresh correctly when equipping and unequipping weight perks like pack mats. Graham can no longer be pacified by Wasteland Whisperer. Megasloths, Snallygasters, and Wendigos can no longer be pacified by Wasteland Whisperer. Mirelurks and Mirelurk Hunters can now be pacified by Wasteland Whisperer. Because these boys are cryptids, I guess. And these guys are not. Quests and events. AWOL Armaments now awards 350 XP when completed successfully. Back on the Beat. Steelheart no longer sometimes stops moving after combat. Back on the Beat now has a random chance to start instead of starting automatically when players enter Morgantown. Senses Violent. Hang on, just before we move on. Back on the Beat and the one with the food, you know, Sanjay's food cans, whatever. The triggers for those need to stop automatically when you're in the area. Because it's really irritating that Steelheart's now up and running again. And food can. Oh, it's just really irritating. Every time you're in Morgantown to hear those two audio loops over and over. It's like when you go to a power station as well. If you are just passing by a power station, you don't need to hear that, oh, it needs to be powered up again. You know? And it's kind of annoying that it is every single time you pass these areas. But hopefully, Back on the Beat here with a random chance to start rather than automatically will stop it from triggering every single time, which will be nice. Senses Violence now awards 350 XP when completed successfully. Cold Case fixed an issue that could prevent the player from crafting the Kid Secure ID despite having the required materials. Daily quests no longer replay their fanfares after logging out and back in. Encrypted fixed an issue that could sometimes cause the imposter's sheep squatch to sometimes stop attacking. Sometimes. Free range. Fixed an issue that could cause Brahmin names to display placeholder text under certain circumstances. And addressed an issue that could cause Brahmin spawned by free range to remain in the world even if no players engage with the event. Grafton Day. Adjusted the Grafton Day event area to prevent starting and exiting the event at the same time. Heart of the Enemy. Fixed an issue that prevented players from repeating the Heart of the Enemy daily quest. Cranberry Bog now offers a repeatable version of the quest every other day. Heart of the Enemy. Quest markers that point players to quest locations inside vault-tec University now correctly lead them to the best door to get to the objective. So you don't have to get lost in there, because it is quite difficult to navigate your place in that building. Or in that collection of buildings. Holotapes corrected several issues in which holotapes subtitles did not completely match the audio during unsolved quests. Into the Fire no longer sometimes displays as a miscellaneous quest instead of a full quest. Key to the Past. Fixed an issue that could prevent the objective from appearing in the quest tracker if the player disconnected from the world after finding Rosalind's note. Load bearing. Players who are still inside the mine when the escape timer expires will now be correctly killed when the mine collapses. Miscellaneous. The kill a Wendigo while wearing a clown costume objective no longer reappears on login after it's been completed. Maybe it will eventually. I think it's probably a repeatable, right? I mean, it'd be nice to do occasionally, just not every time you log in. Tracking Terror. Fixed an issue that could cause Son of Fluffy to spawn as a legendary. Okay. Unsolved. Death and Taxidermy. There's 3 here. Clue items are now correctly marked as quest items in the player's inventory. Fix an issue that could cause the invoice to duplicate. Fix an issue that could cause some quest items to disappear from the player's inventory after completing the quest and logging out. Picnic Panic. Increase the font size of Mary's diary page so it's easier to read. And Wasted on Nukashine. Fix an issue that could prevent the Wasted on Nukashine quest from appearing in the quest tracker. Sound Power Armor. Nukashine Power Armor's landing sound effects no longer apply to Power Armor that does not have the Nukashine paint. Alright, there you go. Survival. Addictions are no longer cured by death. Chems. The detect life effect applied by berry mentats is now only applied to the player who consumes them. Excellent! So when everyone's going pink and you don't know why, that shouldn't happen anymore. Sweet. Food. Canned meat stew awarded by the Feed the People quest can no longer spoil. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. They're canned. Mutations. The empath mutation now interacts correctly with both the Strange in Numbers and Class Freak perk. User interface. Okay, this is the last push. Last section. Buttons. The Change Profile button on Xbox One has been changed to X to avoid conflicts with other button assignments. C.A.M.P. The cap price displayed when attempting to move camp locations now matches the actual cost. So, wow, okay. Combat. Directional hit indicators now correctly appear when hit in several menus, including the map, VATs, workbenches, and camp/workshop menus. Combat. Directional hit indicators once again appear when hit by a plasma weapon fired by another player. Controls. Opening the Pip-Boy immediately after exiting a load screen or switching between first and third person no longer causes the game controls to become unresponsive. New screen. Fixed an issue that could allow the new screen to appear while performing a streaming install of Fallout 76. Notifications. Radio station discovery messages no longer always appear all at once after logging in. Okay. Photo mode. Equipping binoculars no longer causes photo mode pose names and descriptions to become mixed up. Explosive shotgun damage displayed in the Pip-Boy now matches the weapon's actual damage. In the Pip-Boy's component view, all components are now shown in the list, not just components that are in the player's inventory. This should allow for easier tracking of hard-to-find crafting materials. I'd be keen to try that one out. So if you go into your Pip-Boy, go to component view, it'll show all of them. And it might be grayed out what you haven't got, I suppose. That'd be useful. Fix multiple issues that could cause player icons to be reset to the default icon. Nice, that's happened a few times to me. So I'm glad that that's fixed. Quest markers now correctly appear on the map, in the compass, and above paper bags when items are dropped on death in the survival mode beta. Shop fixed an item that prevented limited time offers from refreshing correctly in the atomic shop without a client restart. So I believe that means that at the end of the day, when the limited time offers are changed, you don't need to log out of the game and close the game down, then reload it to get the new updated sale. I guess that's what that means. Yeah. Where are we up to? Here. Preview images of the Red Rocket door now correctly include the door's metal sidewall. The ProSnap Deluxe, so essentially the tutorial for the camera zoom now appears correctly when the player looks through the viewfinder. Now reliably trade in power armor plans. Wait, what? Sorry, no. Vendors now reliably trade in armor mod plans that were previously randomized, including Brotherhood of Steel combat armor mods and deep pocketed mods. Okay, I see. Vendors' known plans and recipes once again correctly sort to the top of vendor inventory lists. Vendors' items in vendor inventories can once again be inspected. Workbenches. Pressing the repair kit button immediately after entering the inspect menu no longer places the player in a workbench menu showing atomic shop item. Okay, there you go. There's your roundup. That's patch 9. There is a hotfix going out on the 9th of May, which is today. I guess that's going to help sort of smooth out some of the issues with the patch. I imagine the Resolute Veteran Survival Challenge gun will only be completed in Survival now. They're probably going to change that from Adventure. If you can get on there, all you simply need to do is take a workshop, set up a defense or a turret at a workshop, and kill a human-like enemy to obtain that gun before it disappears to Survival only. Yeah, so there we go. That's the patch update in detail. Get yourself one of them. Go shoot one of them. A sheep squatch. I'll catch you in Appalachia. Or Appalachia. Appalachia. Yeah, I'm Blackwell. I hope this has been informative. Take care of yourself. Peace and love to you and yours. And I'll catch you, as I said, in Appalachia.